You are listening to ACPN.
Hello, young Swimcast citizens. Space Ghost here, a.k.a. George Lowe, inviting you in for all of the creamy, enjoyable listening goodness. Let's ladle some up right now, shall we?
Everybody, it's that time again. Time for another Swimcast.
Yay!
Joining us tonight is not Scott because he apparently has responsibilities and obligations to his kindergartner.
He got it because he did it with some lady.
Yeah. Go Scott, knocking up Heather.
I rap with my baby in the coffee shop.
Wait, what?
You need to see Snuffbox.
I do.
That show.
Matt Berry and Rich Fulcher from Mighty Boosh, and just absurdity up and down.
Oh my god, is it on Netflix? Where is it? Where can I find this?
It was on Netflix for a while. I think it's only available on Amazon, because that's where I found it and bought it.
Fucking Amazon. It's such a pain in the ass to watch Amazon.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So anyway, joining us tonight, the people that are here, John J. Galbo. The newlywed. I'm
here and I got the ring of power.
What's up, Colleen?
She's not here.
She's not there. There was the dog barking.
Yeah, she took the dog home.
Oh. Wait, there was really a dog?
There was a dog, but the dog doesn't bark. That was my ring.
Oh.
That was a different ring.
Should I call you? Wait, if I call you, will we hear it? Because it's not a Swimcast without a pack of dogs.
You have to fly here and then walk in front of my door.
Oh, all right. I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay. So anyway, who else is here?
John's here. Ryan is here.
Hello.
And Jason is here with his bread with the seeds on it.
Yeah. Somebody drove through my store trying to get that. Literally. Right into the door.
Staten Island, we don't give a shit about doors. We're just gonna drive right through them.
She had a Lexus that was brand new, and then she went straight through our front.
I voted for Donovan. I'm driving through this mother.
What was her story?
I mean, it's
seizure.
If it's true, it sucks. Because like if what's true, if she says that she has a spinal condition and she couldn't lift her foot off of the gas, and if that's true, that sucks.
Yeah, you shouldn't be driving then.
Yeah, at least like have one of those modified cars that has like gas and whatever on the wheel.
Yeah,
but you shouldn't be driving. And also, but also if that's not true and she just sort of fucked up, then she fucked up real bad.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Ryan, do you have any? You're going to get some snow, so you're just going to sit around and play video games all day, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I already did. We got snow Friday, and I'm still working though. I haven't quite got laid off yet. For people that don't know, I work outside in Wisconsin, and once it's snows on the ground, I'm no longer working. I'm just playing video games all day. But I did actually have work called off today. I found that out last night because it wasn't snow. It was so cold that they just didn't want to have anybody out. And then they pushed back a start time for tomorrow, so it's probably getting close to the end for me. But that's cool. I've been up since 6 a.m. playing Red Dead, so
wow,
it's like my new obsession. Yeah, I was actually playing it up till we started the interview or whatever, and I got my phone go off, and I'm like, what? 7? You said 8, and then I'm like, oh right, they're in a different time zone, so I've actually got it on pause right now in front of me.
Have you guys seen
when we're done here, that's what I'm going back to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bachelor life.
Yep. Plus, I'm just obsessing over this game right now. It's awesome.
Have you guys seen the meme going around where it's like Woody and what's her name from Toy Story in Red Dead?
Oh no, I haven't.
Oh, the mod? Yeah, I saw Woody as someone modded Arthur to look like Woody.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I'm a bad cowboy. I have a $300 bounty.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I don't pay off my bounties too often either. I just let them build
You
up.
can't! I'm only up to like $75. I'm like, this is it? This is all you're giving me?
Oh, I don't know. I have like 5,000, and that's like you're basically a millionaire in that game at that point. So
Yeah, I was gonna say back then $75 was like $1 million.
Yeah, but I only had like $120 bounty when I was trying to pay it off, and I still had 70. So I just kept killing the banker, whatever he is, at the train station. I'm like, what?
Why didn't you just say, "Hey, I'd like to open an account"?
With my 75 cents.
yeah.
Or $75.
In a game where you can do anything, you're going to be like, I want to be a responsible outlaw.
Exactly. No, I used to, on GTA 4, when Adam and I were courting, so we were across the country, I'd go in the basement and get on my brother's Xbox, and I would just stand there with Adam at the beach, and we would just watch the water, and it was beautiful.
That's adorable.
We would watch the sunset together.
There's no sun here, and I'm afraid to go out and sit by the beach because I'll probably get run over by some lady in a Lexus. I own this beach.
All right, guys. So
we talk about Adult Swim sometimes.
Yeah, people don't really want to listen to us talk about, funny
people
things.
Listen, though. People listen.
Who listens? Who listens?
I don't know who listens, but I've been tracking I've been using PodTrack to track this show, and people tune in.
Hey guys, if you like our show, tell your friends.
Yeah.
All right.
And
it's
email.
like the opposite of hide your kids, hide your wife. Tell your kids, tell your wife.
What if they don't?
What if they don't have? Casting all over everybody.
What if they don't have a wife? I mean, I don't have. Oh wait, I do.
You do have a wife, John.
My wife. Oh God, am I the new my wife? My wife. My wife.
No, you'll never be that bad.
Okay, good. By the way,
your wife is gorgeous. By the way, with that haircut.
Oh my God, yes.
She was beautiful before, but it looks so good with. It just frames her face.
Again, stuff that people don't want to tune into. This is a show about Adult Swim and animation and comedy. By the way, we have a guest for the first time in 3 years?
No, we had a guest last year. Earlier. We had Todd on the show.
Todd doesn't count as a guest. He's been on 500 times.
Oh, but Todd is always welcome on our show.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he isn't.
I feel really bad because when we interviewed him when we had him on the show, he's like, yeah, I didn't see that. And I said, well, if you read my Facebook, you would have. And there was a really awkward silence. And when I listened to that episode in the car, I was like, oh my God, I should have pointed out that was a joke.
Yeah. I'm sure he knows now. I think you said this last episode. Anyway, Chris Prynoski from Titmouse is going to be joining us in about 30 minutes from now. Probably less because we've been talking. Or more, who knows. So I have to make an apology to everyone here, plus Scott, plus everyone at home. We tried recording most of what we're going to discuss tonight a few weeks ago, and for some reason, Audio Hijack would not cooperate. In fact, I should check again and make sure Audio Hijack is cooperating. It's cooperating good. Good.
Okay, so you're going to record more than 12 minutes of this, right?
It wasn't even 12 minutes. I think it was 12 seconds, and it was...
Oh, my God.
And it was before the show even started. But you know what, guys?
We did an awesome show last time. It was really good.
It was like the greatest song in the world, like the Jack Black song, only with podcast instead of.
It was a tribute.
Singing. It's a tribute. Yep.
Oh.
This podcast is just a tribute to that podcast that's lost because it's not recorded.
It's kind of like
this is not that podcast.
It's kind of like the only podcast we didn't record where Ramon came up with my name, the most beloved man on the internet. So now the only thing I have to go by is Marvel's Ramon Villalobos called me the world's beloved man.
Actually, he's working for DC.
Yeah, I know. So DC and Marvel's Ramon Villalobos, but it won't fit in my profile because I can't put Marvel and DC and Ramon and ACPN podcast and AS Central and my wife.
Well, why don't you just put in the famous Ramon Villalobos?
I could do that.
Yeah, do that. Just a quick shout out to Ramon, who will never listen to this.
Yeah.
But just for Ramon, if you guys could go out and check out his comic Border Town that he drew.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't write it, but Border Town is amazing. It's really, really good.
All right. So we're gonna speed round through some of this. So Venture Brothers season 7, it was cool.
Oh my God, that ending!
Yep. That was a cool ending.
I knew that was going to happen because of the way when she and Dean had to fight whoever in the classroom.
Yeah.
And she kissed him on the cheek. I was like, uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, that was coming.
Bitch, you a hoe.
Yeah.
She really is.
Yeah.
I just find it funny that halfway through the episodes, they kind of resolve the whole Wide Whale has a grudge against the Monarch for killing his brother. And I saw that coming because... what was it? The season before, they're like, Doug Ong. And I'm like, no, that's gonna be Dr. Dugong. No one's following that?
How did you know it was Dr. Dugong? Dugong.
Because he said, I forget Wide Whale's real name is like Frank Ong or something like that. And he's like, and his brother Doug Ong.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even make that connection.
So then I started thinking of cuttlefish. I have cuttlefish. So
they sound so cute, but they're not.
And it's like, wait, he's alive. Oh, okay, then I forgive you, Monarch. The end.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little anticlimactic, but
yeah. But I'm glad the season kind of ended on something that wasn't a cliffhanger, because I was kind of getting tired of that.
Yeah.
Where it's
just in like general.
It's like, whoops, it's a cliffhanger. When will we see the next episode? 2 years from now. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And I've completely forgotten about all this. Awesome.
Yeah, it's not like, the CW DC shows where they recap the season before.
Yeah.
In the first 2 minutes.
Or Alias. Alias did that too.
Oh, I don't know Alias.
Alias was so good. With Jennifer Garner.
Was that... Oh. What was the one...
It's old.
What was the one with Kerry Russell? Wasn't that Alias?
I don't know who Kerry Russell is.
The one from... The Americans?
No, she's not on Alias.
No, there was another show J.J. Abrams did. Was it Felicity? I don't know. Anyway. So,
Adult
Swim. Anyway, yes.
This has everything to do with Venture Brothers, by the way.
Yes. I'm sure they would tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, they being Doc and Jackson actually surprised us at Comic-Con. I missed it because I was sick for most of the weekend, but I think Jason saw them.
I was at. I got to go to that panel, and it was great. And Doc Hammer's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a while now, so I actually forget exactly what he said because he didn't give us he didn't explain what exactly happened, but he was in some sort of accident and something happened with his spine or something like that. So he's kind of confined to a wheelchair.
Hopefully he's not anymore.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he'll be fine. I think he mentioned he's been doing like, therapy and everything like that. But, he's the same that he always has been anyway. He was making jokes about it through the entire panel. He like made a whole thing out of it and everything.
So is it too soon to make a joke about him driving through your store?
Lexuses don't drive themselves. Oh, that was good, Trish. That was rare.
Yes,
that was rare form.
Hey, I got good ones. I just don't use them that often. That's not true. I use them whenever I can because I never have them.
Yep. But yeah, it was cool that they got to go to Comic-Con because there was a big part. Like I said, unfortunately, I spent all of one day at Comic-Con, but I got some good stuff. I got actually an upcoming interview with John Glazer.
Ooh.
For John Glazer's gear.
John Glazer loves gear.
Yeah, which I love the utensils.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's cool.
I need to get that other set from you at some point.
Yeah, I'll have to give it to you. For those listening, at the John Glazer Loves Gear panel, they gave out not only did they give out free bagels, but they also gave out these small like culinary kit things. I think they're probably for camping. They've got like a what do you call, like a clip on it.
Yeah.
And then it's a plastic. They're all plastic, and they like screw into a tube, so you can carry them around with you, and they won't get dirty or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
and
cool.
they wash up pretty good too.
Yeah, they're nice. It's a nice little thing, and they got the show logo on the outside and everything.
I keep waiting for someone at work to ask me, "What's John Glazer's gear?"
It's like,
gear.
It's on True TV. Check it out.
But he was as always a gentleman, and he was even apologetic. He's like, because he got there. Well, we got there. I was with Chris, who works with Paul from Toonami Faithful sometimes, and he was helping me with camera work. And we got there, and we're like sitting at a table, and like they were like, okay, well, John's coming in. It's just gonna be him. It's not gonna be John Hodgman, which I was kind of sad about, and it's not going to be, like, Steve or anyone else. And I'm like, hey, are we going to be able to do, like, video interview stuff? And she's like, and the girl goes, oh, well, who's doing interview? And everyone at the table raises their hands, and I'm like, okay, so everybody then. And some little blonde hoe at the other end is like, wait, it's not everybody. I'm like, but you rose your hand. I'm like, okay, whatever. So, that was interesting. But, like I said, John was a gentleman. He was apologetic because he was like, I'm sorry, we only had a couple of minutes. I'm like, you know what? I actually prefer a couple of minutes. I'm better that way.
Yeah.
Shorter is better. You don't have to awkwardly stagger through the thing, even though I do anyway.
I disagree, but I think we're thinking of different things.
Foreshadowing. But yeah, that was a highlight, and then they did a press panel for, I was saying, Glorious Bastards, Impractical Jokers.
Oh,
who they're pretty cool. They pranked my aunt a couple of times.
They're from Staten Island.
Yeah, they went to what's the place? What's the church over here?
St. Clair's?
No.
Oh, you're not near St. Clair's, are you?
Monsignor.
Is it the church you got married at?
No. Monsignor.
I don't know most of the churches on the island. I don't go to church.
Villa.
Sinner.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's something like that. I don't know. Anyway.
I'm a sinner.
Yeah. And anyway, so that was most of my day. I did also notice that the Rickmobile, after a year of trying to figure out how to get to Comic-Con, finally got to Comic-Con. It made it, but fuck you, Rickmobile.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. And it's funny, I didn't bring this up last time. I was probably too nice to bring it up. The people who they had there working there, I don't know what bug was up their ass, but like they had one thing for you to look at to see what they were selling besides looking in the glass. So when the girl next to me was done, I moved over. I had it. I was reading it, trying to figure out, what they had that I might be interested in. And because I had my old AMC name tag on, the guy's like, John. I look at him. He's like, oh, you're looking. I gave him back the thing. I walked away. I don't stand for that bullshit.
Yeah.
And, you're there to, to serve me practically, and not to mention the fact that I'm wearing a press pass. So
maybe they just wanted some bread with the seeds on it.
Maybe they did.
I could have brought them some.
Yeah.
But,
Jason, this is your fault.
They could have given me some really mediocre Rick and Morty merchandise.
Yeah, or a $15 Hot Wheels of the Rickmobile, which I thought was fucking nuts. Yeah. It's like,
I paid $15 for Hot Wheels.
Did you carve that with your dick? Like, why am I paying $15 for something I could get at eBay for or Target for 99 cents?
Yeah,
let me look that up on eBay.
What did you do to make this worth $15? And that's the only thing I could come up with is you painted with your dick. I don't get it. Yeah. The other thing that I was fascinated at, Kid Robot's still chugging along with figures.
Yeah, they're nice too.
And since then, on the weekend of my wedding, we went to Forbidden Planet in the city, and I picked up a couple, and lo and behold, well, both of them were Robot Chicken figures, but guess what I got on the first try? Was the elusive, the rare figure. The humping robot.
Robot one?
Yep, so guess what's going up on eBay soon?
How much is it going for?
Let me look it up. Humping robot.
I grabbed a couple at Comic-Con while I was there, and I wound up with some shitty Rick one and a Phantom Limb that's actually really nice.
Oh, cool. The humping robot's going for $99.95.
Oh, damn.
So I could technically make a couple of hundred if I bundled it with all the other Robot Chicken, because I have. I got the other one I got that weekend was Robot Chicken, so I got him. Then I have the Scientist and Bitch Pudding from the first series. So, I mean, I could make a pretty penny off of this.
Okay, guys, I just looked up the Rickmobile. It goes anywhere from $19 to $90 on eBay.
Mm.
The model one?
Like the one that looks like Rick?
Yeah, like the toy version?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
That's ridiculous, though. That's such a huge price, spectrum.
I know.
For nothing.
Spectrum.
Yeah.
See,
Spectrum.
I'm still pissed off at Optimum. I'm loving Spectrum. I mean, yes, it's a bit of more money than I want to spend, but at least I'm getting shit. Whereas with Optimum, it was like they gave me nothing. What did they do? Paint it with their dick?
Okay, you're really beating a dead horse.
You're gonna make this into a T-shirt, right?
I should.
Give me John's new catchphrase.
Yeah,
God,
I went from Good Evening to America to what? They painted with their dick?
I misread. Welcome to our ISP conversation.
Yeah, the ISP cast.
Yeah.
Although I wonder how long they're gonna last.
Penis cast.
Oh. Yes.
I gotta put in a dick joke somewhere.
The other cool thing is they're making the statues and stuff, and I'm hoping that I get a little surprise in the mail eventually.
Oh, those are nice, yeah.
An Aqua Teen related surprise. But we shall see.
Yeah.
Suffice to say, Kid Robot has my address, so if they would like to send it to me, because I did tweet them and say, hey, Jon J. Galbo has a wedding and a birthday coming up. How about showing AS Central some love? We will review it. I will review it.
Mm-hmm. Give it good reviews.
Of course.
Unless it's bad, then be honest.
Well, it looks pretty cool, but I'm not going to spend $50 on it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's put a close to that one. The other things we talked about last time that didn't get through. The 2 specials that popped up. What?
Someone was echoing.
Echo.
Okay, it's good now. Go on.
12-ounce mouse special, and also Harvey Birdman special. I watched them both once. I thought they were good.
I thought so too.
Jason brought up a good
mouse.
Jason brought up a good point about 12-ounce, that it felt a little rushed.
It did.
I don't think it felt like 12-ounce mouse. It felt like something else, and it felt like they were trying to do too much in too short a time span. Like, I understand that it was like, this is what they were given. They were given a half hour to do with what they wanted to with the story and everything like that, but it really just felt so... Mm-hmm. It felt too quick. It didn't feel like 12-ounce mouse.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a combination of they haven't done one in such a long time, and 2, who knows when they'll end up, if they'll end up doing another one. Because I mean, the whole way it ended originally was on a cliffhanger, which I hate when, especially when Adult Swim ends stuff on cliffhangers. It's like
you never know if you're going to see the outcome.
I would have loved to have seen Stroker and Hoop season 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know one thing with the 12-ounce mouse special too, and it's like, it's weird to say it when isn't Adam Reed in it?
Yeah, he plays the shark.
He plays Shark.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird to say it when he's in there, and because he is a voice actor. He does this shit, and he's he's got his own shows. He's doing Archer. He's all this shit. It's weird to hear Dana Snyder in 12-ounce mouse.
It really it was, but it was a welcome surprise.
Because my whole thing with 12-ounce mouse with the voices is that it was always just sort of like, here's some folks from William Street, and they're doing voices. And it felt really weird to have somebody like Dana in there, where he's since Aqua Teen, he's done so much else, and he's been on Disney Channel shows and all this stuff. It's really
animated films and podcasts.
It's weird.
It was nice to have him back.
Yes.
It's good to hear. I like to hear that voice. I like that.
Back to his roots.
And I will say this too, speaking of people that felt out of sorts, I kind of didn't mind Seth Green doing fits for the quote-unquote real life.
I like the idea a lot. I really did.
Was like, if they didn't bring Malero back in when he came back to wherever they're supposed to be, then I was going to be pissed.
Yeah. I like the idea. I think that if they fleshed that out a little bit better, it would have been really, really cool. It was an interesting concept to have him do that.
Right.
It wasn't bad. It just didn't feel like 12-ounce mouse to me.
No. And I have heard rumblings that they may be coming out with more in the next year or two, but
we'll see.
Who knows? Who knows indeed. The one
what
thing
about Birdman?
Yeah, Birdman, Harvey Birdman, Attorney General. I know
that was very good.
That was awesome. I loved all of the jabs at the current political climate.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Peter Potamus playing Alex Jones.
Oh god, that was great. Yeah. I love that gag a lot.
And the sushi and I don't know what else. Hippo Wars.
Yeah. It was good. It was really good. That one felt quick too. That one felt super fast paced, but that's the right pace for Birdman.
Right.
It was always cutting away and doing jokes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That felt right. That whole thing felt great.
Right. And Colbert being back.
Yes.
Because they could not have done it without Colbert. Otherwise, it would have been the game all over again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember the game that much. All I remember is Colbert and he wasn't there, so he didn't voice Phil or Reducto. So it was some generic guy trying to be Phil and Reducto.
Yeah.
It was ha ha. It was an okay game though. I felt it was a tiny bit better than the Aqua Teen game.
I mean, Zombie Ninja Program wasn't a particularly good game.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Aqua Teen Hunger Force game?
I liked the concept of going around you putt, then you go get your ball by fighting through like God knows what. But the animation, the designs.
I was just happy to have an episode that hadn't aired yet on the disc.
Yeah, that was back when they were being like really like inventive with where they were putting the new episodes. Like they had the one on there.
Like that Robots Everywhere came out in that game.
Ring this bell when the flies come.
Pizza, 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 pizza.
Yay, Dad. Yeah, but there was that, and then one of the DVD sets they put like 4 new episodes on.
Yeah,
I forget. It was the blue one. I think it was it 6?
6? I think that's 6.
I think it was 6.
Yeah.
And then 5 had the little insert where they showed the Moonanites with turbans and mustaches. And then when the Boston episode leaked on YouTube, I was like, "Yep, I was right. That's what that was from."
Yeah.
Whew.
Can we talk about my favorite thing to talk about?
Cats?
Oh, my second favorite. My favorite Adult Swim thing right now.
What's your favorite Adult Swim thing? Bob's Burgers?
No.
Ballberry?
The Rick and Morty soundtrack.
Yes, and I didn't know Target sold vinyl, but when I saw it there, I'm like, I probably should get this.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, I didn't really... I guess I got to go back and listen again, but I couldn't really appreciate like the mixed music.
Like Stab Him in the Throat?
Yeah.
That was my favorite one.
I don't know. I liked the music that was actually in episodes. Like Goodbye Moon Man.
I don't understand why they censored Slide Around like on a fucking Nordic track on the Rick Dance. Why did they censor the F word?
I don't know.
Maybe it was the TV version?
Maybe.
I mean, but they redid all the music. They professionally recorded it and everything.
But at the end of Moon Man, he goes, "Shut the fuck up about Moon Man." They didn't censor that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. I'll have to go back and listen again on vinyl. On vinyl.
I thought I liked the Mr. Meeseeks part in Stab Him in the Throat. I thought that was really cool to mix that in.
I don't remember that. You know what? I was busy working while I was listening to it.
I put it on my current playlist that I made. It's like, I don't know, 2 hours long, but I put it as the end song.
Oh, what? You have like the digital version?
Yeah.
Oh, fancy. Look at me. I use digital.
Ooh, I'm from the future.
We're living in the future, Jen.
My husband.
I'm the only asshole. I'm the only asshole that listens on vinyl.
Yeah, Grandpa.
Hey, hipsters listen to vinyl. I'm not a hipster though.
Either a grandpa or a hipster. I'd go with grandpa.
Yeah.
Oh, they actually have it on Spotify. Wow. Wait, do they have different versions? I feel gypped. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are on the vinyl. No, there's not all these songs. What is this? Is this no, this is someone else's thing. Artist, Rick and Morty. There we go. Rick and Morty soundtrack. Oh, hey. Automatically came on.
We're just going to sit here and listen to this song. And that's going to be the rest of the swimcast.
No, we'll listen to human music.
Cease and desist.
I love that ends the vinyl. Or the album.
Human music. I like it.
But yeah, all in all, a great soundtrack and a must-have. Although, I think at this point I really need to get Bob's Burgers soundtrack on vinyl.
Yeah.
It's like a really big box full of shit. It's kind of nice.
It's a box full of shit, but it's good shit.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's full of good stuff from what I've seen.
Mm. I was saying tonight because they had some good music on Sunday night's episode that it goes without saying, but I'm sure they're gonna make a second one.
Yeah.
Or at least they should. My last thing, speaking of Rick and Morty, and I didn't know, this is another thing I didn't know, I guess this is a sign of me getting old, is that Spencer's has their own holiday store.
Really?
Yeah, like it was Spencer's Holiday. Like it wasn't a big store. It was like maybe a hole in the wall or like a 1-bedroom apartment kind of thing. Where it was just like wall to wall. Like think of the crap you see at Spencer's only in Christmas form. So like wall to wall Christmas sweaters.
Christmas vibrators?
I think there was a tiny section dedicated to vibrators.
I might have to go.
It wasn't that big of a store, so they had like little.
Doesn't listen to this.
Little bits and pieces. Does she usually?
No, I hope not.
Okay, then maybe she doesn't. Let me see if I find the pictures. But they had some cool stuff, and they also had some Rick and Morty stuff. The funniest thing, and I wouldn't put this on my tree, but they had a tree topper, and it's basically, I'm showing it to Skype now, you guys will see it in a minute. It was Rick in like a Buddha outfit.
Oh, I see it.
Like Siddhartha Buddha, not Fat Buddha.
Yeah. And he's giving the finger. So
that's peace among worlds.
Yeah, well, that was a big thing in there. Everything said peace among worlds and had him giving the finger. But nothing could have surprised me for the thing that I ended up buying in there was a Pickle Rick ornament.
I saw one of those on ThinkGeek and I couldn't get it because they were sold out.
Well, Spencer's Holiday Store has them.
Where is it? Is it actually in Staten Island Mall?
Yeah, it's in Staten Island Mall. I want to say it's close. Yeah, it's on the opposite side of Hallmark.
Okay.
Because I went into Hallmark briefly, and some old man was asking me to push buttons on the ornaments for him, so I'm like, no, goodbye. Probably the husband of the lady who ran... No, never mind. But yeah, they had some cool Rick and Morty related stuff. They had Bob's Burgers. And it was kind of cool. They even had like little candies. They had a gummy plumbus, cherry and peach flavored.
Ooh.
And they had, I think I still have them around, the strawberry Smiggles. It's candy.
They make FYE sells like actual boxes of the strawberry Smiggles.
I saw that.
Yeah.
There's no FYE.
How much was the Pickle Rick?
I think it was $9.99 because I was like, at that point I was like, you know what, this is cheaper than Hallmark.
Yeah, I'm on their site now.
And nothing was really sticking out to me at Hallmark because I had already gotten the one ornament that I wanted, the Donkey Kong one.
Oh, I found something you could get for Colleen.
What?
Bob's Burgers coloring book.
She'll never use it.
I don't color either. I got a really cool cuss-word coloring book.
Yeah. It was kind of sad because for Comic-Con we were going to go in as different characters from different shows. I was going to go as Dustin from Stranger Things because I got the hat and the t-shirt, and then she got on Amazon she got a green dress and bunny ears, and then I bought her Coochie Kopi. And she was going to go as Louise, but she didn't get the chance to.
Next year.
Perhaps next year, but, you know, at least we got it still.
Oh, I found a great, you know the bells you have to, like the ding, those bells when you're trying to get somebody's attention at a receptionist or something?
Oh, yeah?
One says ring for blowjob. The other one says ring for sex.
Okay.
I would just be
do
like,
do they sound the same?
They're
Trish needs some sex.
Trish needs some sex, seriously.
The bell shouldn't ding. It should just say the sound effect from like 10 years ago.
Oh God.
What is that? That is creepy. That is freaking creepy. How did they write that?
Dog.
Did they use their dick?
Oh, John.
How much is it?
It's $7.99.
Oh, that's not a bad price.
You're a newlywed. You need this.
No, I don't. I really don't.
Oh.
That's all I'll say.
Welcome to newlywedness. It lasts for a while, and then it doesn't anymore.
Oh.
Then you need the bell.
Don't tell me that. I forgot what I was going to look up. Oh, I was going to look up and see if there's a Coochie Kopi ornament.
Probably.
There should be.
Be great if it lit up too.
No, they got a light. They got a molded mug. They got a glow in the dark. They got a keychain one. They got a creepy one that looks like it was handmade. And then Pinterest has one, apparently. That looks creepy. Anyway, what else is going on? I think we have one more thing to talk about before.
William Tukarski posted a new picture of himself. It's a really good one.
He is very photogenic.
He is. How do we get him on our show? Do we have to go through his agent?
I don't think so. No, he's told me personally he wouldn't mind coming on.
Oh, well,
I'm sure all we have to do is be like, hey, he was going to come on for was it the 10th anniversary last year? I don't remember. But I had invited him, and he's like, sorry, he was recording Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell that night.
Oh, I remember that now.
Yeah, and then I invited Nick, and Nick was like, he didn't say anything.
Oh.
Did you see Nick was on some dude's podcast?
No.
Yeah, he was on another podcast that wasn't this one.
Well, the nerve.
I did tag you on it to be like, look at this.
Actually, I may have, and I just didn't listen to it because I never listen to podcasts.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, yeah.
I occasionally listen to this one.
No, I listen.
If we have a long drive.
I have gotten into the habit of listening to all the shows on ACPN. Just to show my support, because
of your network.
That's my baby.
It's your baby. So
and growing.
The Pokemon movie.
Yes.
Gotta talk about the Pokemon movie, you guys.
Yes.
Yes. Pikachu, Ryan Reynolds.
It looks awful. I can't wait to see it.
It looks awful, but it looks good.
It looks terrible. It looks really, really, really bad, and I can't wait to see it.
I want to see it.
I'm going to see it in IMAX.
Hopefully they'll have it
in 4D.
In 4D.
I'm not even super big into Pokemon. Maybe that helps. Maybe it doesn't. But
it totally. I bet it helps because I love Pokemon. I adore Pokemon.
Yeah.
How this looks
yeah. I mean, I watched Pokemon. I remember I was in second grade when Pokemon was brand new or whatever. Mm-hmm. I was into that first season, and then I think around 4th or 5th grade, I grew out of it.
It was a good show until they started changing it up, and I'm like, I'm out.
I've been playing the games pretty religiously for a bit.
Yeah.
When I got my 3DS, I got back in because I played X and Y, and they were fantastic. And then I played Sun and I played Moon, and then Friday, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee's coming out for Switch, which I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna get it at midnight. So I love Pokemon. They're adorable. The games are fun.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I tried Go. I tried getting into Pokemon Go. I couldn't. I do. On the flip side, I'm glad that I don't know who the production company is, but they made a Ghostbusters version.
Yeah, I saw that.
I love it.
There's also a Garfield one.
Oh, yeah?
Garfield.
What does Garfield do? You give him lasagna and capture him?
I have no fucking idea what it could possibly be, but there is a Garfield augmented reality Pokemon Go type thing.
Do you go to different Italian restaurants and get their lasagna?
I hope so.
What happens if you
it's just all it is Italian restaurants and it's just lasagna?
And it doesn't work on Mondays because he hates Mondays.
Yeah,
he does hate Mondays. Can I tell you guys a secret nobody knows about me?
I'm sorry. Hold out for 10 seconds because I had a better thought. If they modded the Garfield AR, to Gazorp Field.
Oh my God, enchiladas! I would be into that one.
You white milk toast
Toast.
sack of human garbage.
So here's my secret. When I was little, I bought so many Garfield comic books. It was the only comic I was into. And well, besides the rest of Sunday Funnies. And I always wanted to eat lasagna like Garfield. But every time I've ever had lasagna, I've hated it.
What?
I hate lasagna. You know what it is? I hate ricotta cheese.
Oh.
Yeah. I agree.
I love lasagna. You know what it is? You haven't had Master Shake's lasagna from that one episode.
What did he put in it?
I forget, but there's like an episode where like...
Wasn't it like toenail clippings or something?
Oh.
Yeah, it was like Carl was after the lasagna because I guess Shake makes really good lasagna. I forget exactly the progression of the episode, but it ends with like Carl in the hospital or whatever.
I do remember that.
Most episodes ended with either Carl dead or Carl in the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, he had it like on a string or whatever attached to like a helicopter, and he's like, "No, I know it's it's like on the windowsill," and he like goes out the window or some shit.
I saw that one recently. I think it must have been when I watched because we have Roku in the bedroom, and Roku's like the only thing we have that has the Adult Swim app.
Yeah.
You keep your Roku in the bedroom, huh?
Oh yeah. Like to watch Aqua Teen all night long.
Well, you do it with your wife.
Sure. Oh yeah, I can't be watching Your Pretty Face on stream when she's in the room.
Oh no, she doesn't like it.
She's like, the only thing I forbid you from watching while I'm in here is Your Pretty Face is going to hell.
Oh,
What?
man. But it's so good.
Satan is so sexy, though.
He's so funny. He's like one of the best parts of that show.
Yes.
He is
That way,
the best part of the show.
yeah,
and he's
really.
And he's a cool guy. I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he always posts like, because he's in the area. He's like he's in Jersey somewhere, but he does work. I think he's doing a play in New York.
Really?
And he's always
Does
posting
he have
like,
cloven feet in real life?
no.
Oh.
I'm sure it's probably
That's part of the
it's
turn
probably similar to the episode where Eddie becomes the demon when he's like, "Oh, I thought we were doing CGI now." And the end of the episode is him in like CGI hooves.
Yeah, these pants just get crazy hot or whatever.
I'm sure that's probably more real than we think.
Probably.
Anyway, any other parting thoughts before we go on to our guest interview?
I like Satan. Hail Satan.
Okay. Well, on that note, we have a guest interview coming up with Chris Prynoski of Titmouse. We're going to talk all about animation, Metalocalypse, Superjail, a lot of your favorite Adult Swim shows past and present, and a lot more coming up after this commercial break.
Like cats. We talk about cats a lot.
Oh, we do talk about cats. Okay. Break.
Yeah.
This is Sean and Chris from the Childhood Remastered podcast, where we look back on the cartoons, TV shows, and movies of our youth to see if they're still worth a damn.
Or not.
Or not, which is far too often the case.
You can check us out at childhoodremastered.com to listen to all of our old episodes, request a show for us to cover, or to just say hello.
And we're back from a potential break, maybe? I don't know. This week's guest, it's more than likely that you've seen most or all of his shows, from Metalocalypse, Superjail, Venture Brothers on Adult Swim, to shows such as Megas XLR, Big Mouth on Netflix, Motor City on Disney, and many more. He is the head of Titmouse Animation Studios. People of Earth, please welcome Chris Prynoski. Thanks for coming, Chris.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Look at this. We're going to talk about cartoons.
Yes, absolutely. That is what we talk about from time to time. Sometimes we stray away from that, but we are here to talk about animation, all things Adult Swim, and more. So normally, though, Trish will have an icebreaker question, which is going to ask away right now.
Okay, Chris. This is the main reason we wanted to interview you.
Okay, I'm ready.
What is your favorite kind of cat? It cannot be a dead cat. And why is it your favorite kind of cat?
Oh, man. My favorite kind of cat. There's like kind of favorite kind of cats to look at, and favorite kind of cats to touch, and favorite kind of cats to have in your home.
Mm-hmm.
So the kind to look at are those, like, I don't know what they're called, but they look like a raisin. They don't have fur. They just have...
Sphinx.
Yeah, those are cool, but I don't know if I'd want to touch it. I just want.
They are so soft. They feel like a peach.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they feel like a peach.
All right, maybe I would want to touch it then.
But
So
you
there's
have to
that.
bathe them once a week.
Oh, do they like being bathed?
Most cats hate it.
Yeah, I would think so. That's not usually their thing. So why do you have to bathe them? They
Their
sweat.
their skin is really sensitive or something. I don't know. I saw it on my cat from hell.
Oh, wow. And then I guess, like, I like those smush face cats. Those ones with a smush face. And those usually have fur. So I would like to touch one of those, maybe have it on my lap.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, kind of like just a regular, like, kind of rescue cat, like, type cat that isn't particularly, like, not of one breed is probably the best kind I like for having as a cat.
So you support adopt, don't shop?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's how I've done it. It's worked out well for me in the past.
I think we're going to be friends, Chris.
Yes.
Very good, very good. So, as I alluded to earlier, Chris is the brain trust behind Titmouse Animation Studio. Tell us a bit about Titmouse. How did that come to be? How is it now?
Well, it came to be just from my, like, being dumb, basically being too dumb to turn down freelance work. Because I had started in New York and moved out to LA, and I kind of had Titmouse as just my little, I would call my films that, and like sell t-shirts to my friends with the Titmouse character on it. And then I moved out to LA, and I was like, well, I'm going to work at the networks, work on shows and, direct or, EP stuff. And then I started a t-shirt company to sell t-shirts on the internet called Titmouse. And that was the company start in the early 2000s. And then I just kept getting these freelance jobs. I was working, at networks, a lot of Cartoon Network. I think I was working on Mega's XLR at the time. And I was also working as a commercials director by Klasky Chupo, who made Rugrats and a bunch of shows I'm sure you guys dig. But they couldn't.
You made Rugrats?
In-house. Yeah. I mean, I didn't work on it, but Klasky Chupo, that's the company. So I was repped by them as a commercials director, and I would get these commercials, and I didn't have enough bandwidth to do them. So, like, I'd hire my friends to help me because my day job was like making a TV show, and then we'd like work on these commercials like in the morning and at night, and then through the day, friends would work on them. And then eventually there was enough work at Titmouse that, was basically halfway through the second season of Megas that my wife was like, you got to quit your job at Cartoon Network and work on Titmouse full time. And I was like, that's crazy. Cartoon Network, those jobs, TV shows, that's how I make money. And she's like, if you like quit that and focus on this full time, this will be your job. And then that's what I did. And then it became my job.
Very
that's
cool.
A beautiful story.
Nice.
I read that you started Titmouse with your wife. Do you guys still work together?
Yeah. This all. You can see me, right? You can see
No.
Oh, you can't see this anymore?
But it's okay. We record audio. We don't record the video.
You saw my assistant's shoes, but the desk you can see is a long desk, so I sit on one side and Shannon sits on the other side. She's not here.
Sweet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Aww.
I need a desk like that.
There you go. It's called a, what the hell is this one called? It's from CB2, a Dylan.
Huh.
If you go to CB2, you can order a Dylan. You got the same desk I have if you want it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll fit in my one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
I got mine at Target. It's about 5 foot. I'll move up in the world.
5 feet's a good footprint.
Yeah. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. So, basically, Titmouse, to my knowledge, I mean, I didn't start watching shows that you produced until Swim. And, you know, since then, since Metalocalypse, you've done, like, a number of shows. I mean, we're probably going to name them all off in a bit, but, I mean, Venture Brothers, Superjail, Black Dynamite, China, Illinois. With all these different shows and commercials and whatnot, I know you guys do movies over there. What is a typical day for you like?
Oh, man. Every day is different. It's a lot of meetings. Not as much about drawing pictures. I still like to draw pictures, but it's more like, you know, either developing stuff and taking it out and pitching it, or taking meetings with clients about jobs they might bring in, or meeting with show creators and stuff. There's a couple of shows that I'm more involved with now. We sold one to Cartoon Network, a kids show that I really like, and I can't talk about the specifics of it, but I'm more on the day-to-day of that show. That one's real fun. And we sold another one to Nickelodeon. It's just starting up. I'm a little bit more on that one. But those are both guys that have worked here forever, you know, both are the creators of the show. One guy, Otto, started like really since the beginning. He started in like 2005. He's been with us, and he was on Metalocalypse. He was on the shows here. And then the other one, the creator, was an animator here for years. Worked on a lot of the shows too. I mean, he probably animated on Metal, I bet, at some point. A lot of animators did. I mean, he worked on a lot of the shows here. Direct stuff too. So it's cool to see, like, to be able to have people come up through your studio and then bring out their shows and sell them, and then work on their shows in your studio. I kind of went off on a tangent that went beyond the answer to your question. So
no, I think it was perfect. I don't know. I'm sure the rest agree with me.
Yeah.
Yep.
But keeping with the Adult Swim stuff and starting from the beginning, in 2006, you guys did Metalocalypse. You were the editor from 2007 to 2008. Yeah,
we started. Yeah, I mean, we actually technically started that show in 2005, the very beginning. Like, we might have done the very first record at the end of 2005. But yeah, that was a fun one because they really didn't have much. And I knew Brendan Small. We had worked on a show together. I knew Tommy he was writing on another show that I knew, and I knew Schnepp from around. Like, he was just a friend and a guy. You know, he had rented space from us to like edit his weird like video art projects. So
right.
Players, but they didn't really have the art style figured out. They didn't have the show figured out. So that was fun because, like, you know, it was very collaborative in the beginning. Schnepp and I were directing on the first season, and the second season I directed on too. I jumped off on the third season to do other stuff. But even the first episode, like, we didn't have an editor yet, so I cut the radio play for the first episode and got to decide who did what voice, which was, I didn't realize I was making that decision at the time because I recorded all 5 band members because they weren't sure, and I just was like, okay, I'm going to put in the ones that I think are good for the roles, and they stuck. So it was a fun project to work on.
Yeah, and we should mention Jon Schnepp briefly because, I mean, we haven't spoken about him, not because we didn't want to, but, you know, he was an amazing talent.
Yes.
For sure. Absolutely.
And he was so kind.
Yes.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, big heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace, Schnepp. But as far as Metalocalypse goes, Trish, did you write this one?
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, someone else wrote a question. I guess I got to read it. Did you enjoy all the gruesomeness of Metalocalypse?
Oh yeah, sure. That was the fun stuff. Yeah, coming up with crazy deaths and stuff was part of the fun of that show. Like that was still. That wasn't as played out as it is now. I feel like now there's so many shows that just have ultra violence as the joke.
Yeah.
It wasn't as common. So there was a lot of fun in kind of figuring out how that stuff was going to unfold.
Yeah, I agree with that, though. It was like the trendsetter in that ultra violence, and then Superjail kind of eclipsed that, I feel.
Yeah.
And then after that, there were shows not done by Titmouse that I saw, and I'm like, really? They're trying to be like Metalocalypse, and that's their gimmick?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I know it's probably been asked to you a dozen times, but do you think we'll ever see an ending to Metalocalypse?
I don't think we will. I can't really even talk about it that much. Like, there's been iterations where we could have at certain moments in time, but just it didn't all line up for whatever various reasons. I know that's kind of like a cop-out. I think probably your closest like version of what you might get is if you pay attention to what Brendan Small's been doing with his Galacticon property, which is like primarily like a rock opera, and he's been kind of like telling a story that may or may not, kind of like have been intended to be the story that wrapped up.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the next show we're going to talk about is Venture Brothers, and you guys took that over from World Leaders in 2011.
Yeah.
How was the transition with that?
Oh, that was great. And we had been working on the show before that, because I've known Chris McCulloch, a.k.a. Jackson Public, since we were both in school. We had we didn't actually go to the same school, but we had a lot of mutual friends. I went to school with Ben Edlund, who created The Tick.
Oh, yeah.
He was working on The Tick comic at the time. And then I tried to actually hire Chris McCulloch as a character designer on my first show, and the schedule got pushed. But anyway, and I read this script, the pitch for Venture Brothers, gave him advice when he was bringing it out and stuff. So I've been involved with the property for a while. Oh, and then when he was at World Leaders, when he would come out to LA, we do the records at Titmouse for the show, because the LA records, because we're in LA. And so it was a pretty smooth transition. Like, basically, World Leaders was kind of coming to an end, and Chris really didn't want to move out to LA at the time, but he wanted to work with us. So, and Superjail, Augenblick did the first season of Superjail, but then Ugly Americans came across their desk, and they felt like that was a better fit for them for whatever reasons. So we had an opportunity to start the New York studio with both Venture Brothers and Superjail, and Mike Lazo was very gracious and saying, like, hey, if we started up a studio in New York, he would support it, and that was enough for me. And he did. And so it was pretty smooth. Like, it wasn't going to go anywhere else. It was just easy. It was an easy transition.
I'm going to jump ahead a little bit for time, but Superjail, and also you guys most recently did Ballmasters with Christie.
Yep.
And that's just, I was just talking to the crew beforehand. It's an amazing show.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I really like that show. I really dig it. And I can't talk about, what may or may not happen in the future. But Ballmasters is a good show. That's all I can say.
All right. I'm good with that answer.
Yeah.
So just to briefly touch on it too, you did China, Illinois with Brad Neely, and also the follow-up to that. Yeah,
Brad Neely's Hard Knowledge Globio PPO.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the one I know how to say, and hardly anybody else does, because I have to say it so many times.
Very cool.
Yeah, that was fun. I think that was like Adult Swim had really dug like what he had been doing on the internet previous to China, Illinois, and that was an attempt to kind of capture some of that magic, and I really like that show too. Although I kind of wish we just kept making more seasons of China, Illinois. I thought that was really, really good.
I won't dispute that. That was a great show. The other thing that was cool about that was the transition from, and also Metalocalypse had the 11 minute to 22 minutes. Yeah,
it's true. You find that with shows, and then with Metalocalypse, we went back to 11 minutes after the third season. We're like, man, maybe fourth season we'll go back to 11s. With Metalocalypse, there's a different vibe because we realized what really works for that show is when none of the characters really give a shit about anything. And then with a half-hour story, you've got to give them a lot more like emotional involvement with the story.
Right.
Kind of funnier when they don't give a shit and then you just end it.
I kind of agree with that because the 30-minute show, I felt like there was more of a story, but it was more like you had to be more involved. Whereas with the 11-minute stuff, it was like you could look away for 5 seconds and be, oh, hey, they still don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very cool. Also for Swim, I should some notable mentions. Short stuff. You did storyboard revisions for Freaknik the Musical in 2010.
Oh, no, we did the whole thing. I directed Freaknik, and we did the whole project here.
Oh, cool. Now was that repurposed from another show? Because it was a short with the same animation.
Yeah, they did a short that, that they didn't turn into a series, and then they always wanted to do something else with it. And it went through multiple iterations, and we didn't work on that initial short. It was called A Crooked Sip.
Right.
And then the Freaknik thing came to us, kind of a bit after that had been like kind of sitting around for a while. And went through a couple of different musical iterations with different people before it landed with T-Pain. And T-Pain was great to work with. T-Pain is a huge fan of animation and he's not fronting or bullshitting in any way. He actually knows a lot about cartoons and is really interested in watching cartoons.
So that's it for the Swim stuff. I know, what else do we have here? Not Adult Swim, but you've done a lot of other work for a lot of other companies. You were talking about Megas XLR earlier. I know, Ryan, did you have a question about Megas XLR? No?
I could come up with one. I just saw that I worked on it, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I used to watch that show all the time growing up. I loved it. I just wish I could find where to watch it today because it's like there's no DVD release or I can't seem to find where to stream it or whatever. I'm like, Yeah,
it's true. It was in a weird time where it's like, it was like before there was a lot of shows prepared for streaming on the internet.
Yes.
It's like you can't find it. You can find torrents and stuff, and they sold it on Xbox for a while. I don't know what. Yeah, Zune, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it's on the iTunes store or somewhere legal, but I know that there's torrents and stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome, Jason. Did you have any questions?
Not currently.
Okay.
I'm happy to be here. I'm a very big fan of the studio. I like a lot of the work. So
thank you.
Yeah.
You've been to the studio. What do you think of it?
We were there. When were we there?
When we interviewed Chris for a New York Comic Con,
Oh yeah.
God, when was that?
2011,
2012?
Yeah, so we're in a new facility in New York, a new studio, if you ever go back to New York Comic Con again.
Yeah, I came to the party that y'all invited me to for Comic Con, but I was there for 10 seconds because my wife was like, "John, you have a cold. You have to go to bed."
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of ruined my entire weekend, but you know, it was fun. So what else? Just rattling off a bunch more cartoons the studio did. Black Panther for Spike, and we should give a shout out to Stan Lee.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Stan Lee did a voice, cameo in that, and it was really it was a real kind of like brave cameo because he played a guy who was like a racist character, and he wasn't afraid to do that because he was like a bad character. It was just in one scene.
Right.
We're like, you sure you want to do that? But he was into it. Into just doing whatever the character, whatever was needed for the scene.
Cool. Of course, we mentioned Motor City earlier for Disney XD.
Yeah.
Love that show, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
It was a fun one. It's a shame to see it go. I enjoyed it a lot.
We did Randy Cunningham around that same time.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a good one too. I enjoyed that one too.
Your big claim to fame with Titmouse now is Netflix, right?
Yeah, I mean, Big Mouth is doing really well. We're making a bunch more of those. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about. Maybe I'm not even say that. But it's probably obvious.
I did notice, sidebar, I did notice you have Untitled Animation Project on your IMDb.
Oh, yeah.
That's not Deadpool, is it?
No, that one kind of fell apart. I mean, we do a lot of work with Marvel, Disney, and the various aspects. It doesn't always see the light of day. There's one that's been announced that we're working on with Marvel and Disney right now, which is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. But all I can say is it's been announced. We can't talk about anything more specific than that.
Fair enough. Well, when it's announced, I'm sure you'll let the world know.
Yeah. Yeah, and we do a lot of stuff that ends up on Netflix. We're doing another adult show for Netflix that we can't talk about now. But we do a lot of kids stuff.
Oh wow.
For them, that's a lot of it's through DreamWorks. We'll do work with them. We did a lot of their movie spin-off stuff.
Right.
This show, Turbo Fast, which I actually would recommend because they thought that movie was going to be a big financial success, and it didn't end up being one. And they kind of stopped paying attention. And if you watch, I think we made 52 half hours, but they were 11, so it's 104 stories. And if you get into maybe the past 20. They start to get real weird and real good because no one cared what we were doing.
That's awesome.
It's like a weird hidden show that not a lot of people know about. But if you look, it almost turns a corner and becomes an entirely different show after a while. And there's a lot of cameos in that. We did a lot of I cast a lot of the Adult Swim guys in that. Dave Willis does a great character in it. Brendan Small, Tommy Blacha, Chris McCullough, they all do. There's an episode we got Chris to do a voice in where it's Turbo, this famous racing snail. There's this guy. It's a convention episode, and this creepy dude kidnaps him and brings him down into his basement and wants to encase him in lucite to keep him forever.
Oh wow!
And McCullough was like, "What kind of voice you want for this guy?" I was like, "I don't know." And he's like, "He's kind of like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs." I kind of your impression of that guy. I was like, "Man, go for it!" And so we made. Oh, that's also the episode that Goat makes a cameo in. The guy who we put in a lot of our TV shows. He's in that episode. Actually, Schnepp is in that as himself. So
oh wow!
Really?
Yeah.
I have to hunt that down.
Yeah. It's a weird show.
Awesome.
Sounds great.
You know what made me think of a good question? Netflix versus Swim. Do they give you more of a freedom with the shows?
Adult Swim does give a lot of freedom, especially if you get their trust. I think one of the reasons we have a lot of trust from Adult Swim is I don't bother Mike Lasso. I hardly ever talk to him. I leave him alone. He doesn't like to talk to people.
Right.
The shows make them good.
Yeah. I know. I always think of one year. I think it was at a Titmouse panel at Comic-Con, and Christie's telling the story about Superjail and how he got the S&P notes back on the part where Jesus comes off the cross.
Yeah.
And it's like you can show him on the cross, but you can't show him getting off the cross. Yeah. Or
there's a bunch of weird rules like that. You know, you usually can't find them out until you do the thing that they don't want you to do.
True.
But yeah, I mean, Netflix gives a lot of freedom in ways too. Like Big Mouth, there's been an incredible amount of freedom. I think Netflix, they're similar in a lot of ways. I mean, Netflix has more luxurious budgets for sure, but they're both pretty damn good for being, for having, getting your creative on the screen.
Trish, you back? Trish died.
Yes, I'm back.
You want to run down the last couple of questions?
Sure. First, I would like to know, do you have a cat?
I don't currently have a cat. We've had a lot of cats in the past, but we're going to get a cat. Probably, maybe we'll get a cat next year again. The cats, they die sometimes. It's just sad. But,
we actually had to deal with that recently too. So we're catless for another 9 months until our lease is up.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to have a son, and he's turning 7 in July, and we're kind of holding off on pets until his birthday, maybe. See.
Oh.
Sure enough to handle a cat.
So what's your favorite kind of project? Like a normal show, a music video, or a short film, or what are you into?
I mean, we can do like features and things. We've produced one of our own features, but we've also done a lot of work on features. We'll do like the pre-production or the story reel, and that's a lot of fun work. I like a lot of things. Pilots are good because you're figuring it out. You're getting to getting to figure out like the world and what makes it funny, and hopefully it's enough to sell the executives and the focus groups that this should be a TV show. I mean, music videos are cool too because they generally have like real quick schedules you have to turn around, but it's usually something where you can do real weirdo shit. I guess I'm not really doing a good job of telling you what my favorite is.
No, you're doing fine.
You might have more than one favorite. I've been there.
Yeah. It's like your mom, right? She never has one favorite child. She just has me that calls her more often than my brother. And so I'm technically the favorite, but she'd never admit it.
Yeah. Right on. There you go. That's a good.
They're like your babies.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess the next question was favorite show to work on. Was that kind of the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think Metalocalypse was really good when we were starting up because we really did figure that thing out. It was really, it was so much fun to direct and, kind of help shape that show in the beginning. I think that was great. I didn't realize how good it was, how good like Brendan and Tommy were in the booth together until I started working on other shows with like, asking people to improv and, it's just, you can't that's like a singular situation where you can get people who are that, just so on point, so good at it. I think that's probably my favorite.
One last question for you and we'll let you go. What is one show, it could be from the past, it could be a Saturday morning cartoon, it could be 60s cartoon, present, future, that you haven't worked on but you'd like to work on? If you had the chance.
That I'd like to work on. A show that I always liked and I wished that we had I was like, I just like the premise of this show. It's so fun. It's like sci-fi comedy, which is something I like. And actually, some of our animators actually did freelance on it, although I never worked on it. And our studio did, is Space Dandy.
Oh.
I can take that one.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. For those folks at home, check out all of Chris's awesome stuff that Titmouse makes. It's on Adult Swim. It's all over the place. And you can go to their website. We'll have it in the show notes. Thanks, Chris.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. You too. Take it easy. Thanks again.
Bye-bye.
If you could go back in time, you'd be wasting your time.
Hey, what do we have in common with Doctor Who?
We're hopeless nerds?
Well, that, but we also go back in time.
Oh, yeah, of course. We go back in time.
We Rewind Cinema Podcast. I'm Matt Morris.
I'm Gabe Whitehurst.
And what we do is we go back and we select a random year in cinema history, select a random movie for every month of that year, and review it.
Yeah, and we have a really good time doing it. So you know what? You should listen.
Listen
to our show. If you like to revisit classic things that you grew up on or that just happened last year, we don't know. We're hopping around. We're crazy. We're reviewing things that are all over the place.
He's literally crazy.
I'm literally going crazy right now, but you should listen to Rewind Cinema.
Thanks to Chris for stopping by. I should say you could check out all of our social networkings over at acpnet.net. We have a Patreon. You can give us money if you like. We are giving away still a Venture Brothers Season 5 on Blu-ray for anyone who donates $20 or more. Also a pop figure, $20 or more. But hopefully we will be back with a brand new episode of Swimcast. So until then, good night now.
Goodbye.
Bye.
This has been an Adult Swim Central production.
I'm John Galbo, co-host of Adventure Club Podcast, one of the flagship shows of ACPN. Each week we're joined by guests from all walks of life, from celebrities to comedians, to web geeks of all trades and beyond. Each episode is jam-packed with popular culture goodness sprinkled with some old-fashioned comedy and all-around geekdom. Come join us and share in all the adventures. Alright, I said it. Give me my $20. Adventure Club Podcast, new episodes only on ACPN.